Welcome to the Exploring Author YouTube channel, or welcome back if you're already subscribed. Today we are in Heidelberg, Germany, the famous part of Heidelberg. We're going to be in the Altstadt and we're going up to the castle. Now the question I have is, how did the castle become so ruined over time? And it's not an easy answer. There's actually multiple answers, so it's going to be a great question to have answered throughout the day. But we are also going to be finding some what is that moments that us travelers love so much. But before we get started, I do have to introduce a special guest, a local Heidelberg person, my friend Moritz. Maybe if you've been with the channel for a long time, you might recognize him from the old days, but this is Moritz, and he's going to be our local guide for today, and we're going to ask him a few questions about Heidelberg. So, welcome.
Good morning, folks. Good to be back.
Good morning, that's right. But behind us, you might notice there is a bridge, and this is one of the most famous landmarks in all of Heidelberg. But it is always good to know a little bit about what we're looking at. So as Moritz and I go into the city, let's learn a little bit of history about what this bridge meant to Heidelberg. At Old Bridge Heidelberg, officially the Karl Theodor Bridge, what you see today is actually the 9th bridge built on this spot. For centuries, crossing the Neckar River here wasn't reliable. Earlier bridges were repeatedly destroyed. While war took its toll, the river was the real enemy. For centuries, ice flows and floods took out bridge after bridge, forcing the city to rebuild again and again. The current structure was built in 1788 under Elector Karl Theodor, using local sandstone, and it finally brought some permanence to the crossing. But even this bridge didn't escape destruction. In 1945, during the final days of World War II, German troops blew up parts of the bridge to slow advancing forces. It was later rebuilt, restoring the structure which you see today. So while it's called the Old Bridge, what you're really looking at is a place that's been rebuilt again and again for over 700 years. All right, so Moritz is wanting to show us this street in particular. This is one of his favorite old stomping grounds, or still stomping grounds. Where are we, Moritz? Where are we?
Now that's one of the most popular streets in the old town of Heidelberg. Lots of people come here on the weekends, Saturdays or Fridays. It gets really crowded here.
What are they coming for?
For the pubs.
The pubs.
They come to drink here, to party, and have lots of fun. So it's a cool place.
It's beautiful. Yeah. So we had to do a quick stop over here because Moritz saw it, and he wanted to have a little bit of nostalgia on the video. So let's keep going. As we go up to the top of this tower in this beautiful cathedral, I'm going to stop filming Moritz's butt. It's really narrow in here though, very narrow. But very cool, because neither of us have done this before. We have made it to the top of the Heiliggeistkirche, or the Holy Ghost Church in Heidelberg. As I said, Moritz and I have not been up to this part of it where you can see a panorama view. Now, this church was built in between 1398 and 1515 and once housed the Bibliotheca Palatina, which was the biggest and most important Renaissance libraries in the world. Now, the 30 Years' War came, and then they had to take the library and put it in Rome, so now it sits in the Vatican. But this place offers great panorama views, and it was once used as a shelter during times of war. And in fact, one of the very unique things about this place is at one time, both Protestants and Catholics used it, on separate sides, of course. But take in the views. It is really tough to get up here, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not one way up, one way down. It's a two-way street, so just keep that in mind if you're coming up here. You're gonna have to hug the sides a little bit. But what a view, and what a day. Let's keep exploring. So now we're in the part of the city where the university is the Heidelberg University, which was founded in 1386, making it the oldest university in all of Germany. But right around the corner from the university is one of those what is that moments that us travelers love. And it's a Studentenkarzer, which is a prison for students, open from 1780 until about 1914. And it really just housed a lot of drunkards. It housed a lot of people trying to do duels back in the day. And it even started to turn into a badge of honor for the students. In fact, so much so that this place is full of graffiti. And even Mark Twain made an appearance when he was in Heidelberg. He even stopped by this place and was kind of confused by it a little bit. He even has a famous quote, which I cannot remember off the top of my head. It has something to do with that this is an odd custom, something along those lines. But a very, very interesting place. And I'm glad we went inside of it. It also has a museum, and it details a lot of history of this very old university. But Moritz, he's already been here before, so he already seen this, but you were pretty little, right? How old were you?
I don't know, maybe 12 or so.
Okay.
We came to see the place.
Definitely worth checking out. It was very, very informational, a lot more than I anticipated. When I had scheduled this What Is That moment, I thought it was going to be a quick, hey, this is cool, and then keep moving. But actually we went inside and we spent some time in there. It was really worth it. So check it out. Let's keep it moving in Heidelberg. So behind us, we have the Hotel zum Ritter. Ritter means night in German. And this is one of the oldest existing buildings in all of Heidelberg. And it was built in 1592, but the reason it survived, actually it survived the 9 Years' War when a lot of Heidelberg got destroyed. And this is a perfect segue to the castle. Now that's not the full answer of why the castle got destroyed from earlier, but it is a good segue as we go up towards the castle. And this thing's been operating as an inn for centuries. Very cool. It's right next to the cathedral. But it's time to get up to the Schloss. What do you think?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's do it. Why not? So we're up here marching up to the castle. We took the walkway. It is a bit steep in sections. There is a tram, but where is the adventure in that?
Plus it's a beautiful little path around the castle. You can see it from underneath.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I mean, it's green today. We really lucked out with the weather. But as we get up here, I'm sure it would be nice to know just a little bit about this castle and the history when you see it, as well as we want to answer that question, what happened to that? So let's answer that question, but when you get back, we're going to tell a story. Is it a legend? Is it folklore? Is it real? We're going to get into it. It's a really cool story about this, a little anecdote, but we're going to huff and puff our way up here. Let's learn about the castle.
At Heidelberg Castle, what you're looking at isn't the result of one event, it's the result of several. The castle dates back to the early 1200s, and for centuries it was the seat of the powerful electors of the Palatinate. It was expanded, rebuilt, and strengthened over time. The first major damage came during the 30 Years' War. In 1622, imperial forces attacked and captured Heidelberg, and the castle was pulled into the conflict for the first time. But the real destruction came later. During the 9 Years' War, French troops deliberately destroyed parts of the castle in 1689 and again in 1693, blowing up towers and setting large sections on fire. It was rebuilt after that, but never fully. Then came the final blow. In 1764, lightning struck the castle twice, setting off fires that destroyed large parts of what had been restored. After that, the rulers chose not to rebuild, and over time the castle wasn't just abandoned, it was slowly taken apart with its stone reused throughout the city. So what destroyed Heidelberg Castle? Well, war started it, but lightning and abandonment made it permanent.
So now that we know a little bit of history about this place, and it is pretty extraordinary if you really think of it, and the question got answered, what happened to this castle and why was it destroyed? It's a pretty interesting story, actually. But now there's another story, or a legend, or folklore that is associated with this castle. And afterwards, we're going to determine how much of this could historically be accurate or plausible. And it all starts with a man named Perkeo. In the 1700s, he worked here. He served the elector of this palace, not only as a jester, but as a wine cup bearer. So Perkeo actually was quite short in stature, and he was even considered to have dwarfism. But that didn't stop Perkeo from having one of the most important jobs in all of the castle. Not only was he the wine cup bearer and jester, but he was also in charge of the massive barrel of wine. In fact, it's one of the biggest barrels of wine in all of the world. It's called the Heidelberg Tun. So he was in charge of this. But the thing about Perkeo is, Perkeo's name is actually Perkeno, and I'm probably butchering that from Italian, but it means why not. And the reason his name is Why Not is because anytime he was offered a cup of wine, he said, why not? And he drank and he drank. So it's kind of interesting that he was in charge of the most important thing in the castle, which was the massive wine barrel, yet he liked to hit the sauce a little bit hard. But we gotta ask the question, how much of that story is actually true and how much is just simply folklore or embellished stories over time? And the answer might surprise you. Actually, almost everything in that story is historically accurate. Perkeo was a real person. His job was real. What he did here, everything he did here was a real thing. He was short in stature as well. The only thing that might have gotten embellished over time is the amount that he liked to drink. He was said to have drank a lot. But maybe as the stories go, you know how it is, you're out there with your buddies, the stories start to evolve over time, and that's probably what happened here, but everything else is historically accurate. That's crazy. Not often do we find these stories where there's so much history behind them. And that's the whole tale of Perkeo. So next time you're up here and you're checking it out, you'll know this story. As we're walking around, it is interesting to know because Heidelberg is one of the most touristed and heavily traveled places in all of Germany, especially when the summer kicks around and the Christmas markets. But it is interesting to ask the local what their favorite part of their own town is. So, what is your favorite part of Heidelberg?
Well, to be honest, I don't have one favorite part of Heidelberg. I mean, the whole city is beautiful, especially in spring and summer. I spend lots of time here with friends in the city, down by the Neckar, up here at the castle. Neckarwiese is beautiful. You'll find lots of spots. I recommend just coming here, walk around, find your thing. Don't make plans, just walk around, and you'll have a beautiful time.
So that's what we've done today. Is we kind of wandered around, and of course we made our way to the castle. That was the objective. But the rest of the time we enjoyed it, and we kind of took our time and had some really great what is that moments. So yeah. But let's keep on taking a look at this castle grounds, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Well, we've had a pretty great day. As you can tell, this castle behind me is extraordinarily beautiful. And I do want to thank Moritz for showing us around and joining us today on today's adventure. So thank you very much.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's nice we have to come back to your hometown. If you're interested to see some of the lesser known sides of Heidelberg, make sure you check out one of my older episodes and I'll link it in the description. But I've had a really great day, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you've already been here before, you know I appreciate you. You always know that. But until next time, adventure awaits.